What's up, gang? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are checking out the WOWGO AT2 Plus. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do my absolute best to try and keep it under 10 minutes in total.
Yeah, right.
I'm also going to try something a little bit different in this video, and I want your participation. We're going to do a music quiz. What I want you to do is throughout the video, I'm just going to randomly play 3 snippets of a song, and I want you to do your best to identify the track. At the end, comment the 3 tracks in order that I played them, and all the correct answers will go in the draw to win a prize. I don't know what that prize will be. It might be a NobleMan voucher. I might send you something from my collection. I don't know yet. The more people that enter, the better the prize will be. So when I announce it, listen to the song. It will only be a snippet, like I'm talking 1-2 seconds, depending on how identifiable the song is. If you like this idea, make sure you thumbs up the video and comment below other genres or other ideas you'd like me to try in other videos. Today's is going to be 90s rock.
This is how everybody sang in the 90s.
I'm such a baby, cause the dolphins make me cry.
So let's start the 10-minute timer and let's get the review going.
Scotty. Who's Scotty?
So let's jump straight into the review. A couple of things to get out of the way first. Yes, WOWGO sent me this board for free, but as mentioned in previous videos, they have no dictation or any influence on the video, on what I say, on my thoughts. This is a pre-production model. As far as the performance, nothing will change. You'll notice that I have red motors. The production board will have black motors, and there will be a slight change in grip tape, and there will also be a slight change in the bushing setup. When we received these pre-production boards, the bushings were way too soft. So let's jump straight into the top level specs. It is a bamboo, fiberglass and Canadian maple deck, so it's going to be super flexy and super strong. It seems to be the flavor of the month for that type of deck configuration, and it does have really nice flex. It is probably a little bit more flexy than the original AT2, but it feels just as strong, which is very assuring, to say the least. The battery is a 12S 4P configuration, so it's 604 watt hours or 14 amp hours. They're only using 18650 cells and Panasonic cells. That's all the website says. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know. We'll talk about that towards the end. But yeah, 14 amp hours, so it's the exact same amp hour as the original AT2, being 14, 604 watt hours. Let's do the first song. So just remember what we discussed at the beginning. I'm gonna play 3 tracks throughout this video. You need to identify all 3 at the end of the video. So comment the 3 tracks in the correct order, and everyone who does that will go in the draw to win a prize. I don't know what the prize will be yet. So here is your first track. That's it. Any ideas? Now remember, it's 90s rock. So comment down below at the end, write it down on a piece of paper, whatever you need to do, and I'll play all 3 tracks again at the end. Good luck. All right, just while we're waiting for the light to turn green, let's talk about what you get in the box. For the particular one I got, you can get different combos. You get the electric skateboard. It comes with 7-inch AT wheels. This one also came with the cloud wheels and pulleys. You also get 2 rear tail lights, which mount on at the rear here, which is a nice little addition. They are rechargeable and they just mount straight on. The mounts come already on the board, so it's one less thing to do. And it also comes with a really nice usable carry handle. I haven't mounted yet. I'm not a fan of having handles on my board, but I probably will put it on this one because it actually works really nicely and it has a nice ergonomic feel to it. That guy's singing. You also get the classic WOWGO remote control, super reliable, super comfy, very basic, but that's the beauty of it. 1 button, 1 screen, forward to go, back to stop. It just works really, really well. Right, and let's move on to the motors. They are Hobbywing motors, which I'm very, very happy about. And they are 5330 motors. 1300 watts each, so certainly not the biggest motors as far as output or size, but they seem to do quite a nice job. Now, as I mentioned, my ones are red, The production ones will be black. They have a nice sound to them, and I think they suit the board aesthetics quite nicely. I'll just get past these people and I'll give you a bit of a... So that's the Hobbywing 5330. That's actually the same motor that the TRX 3.0 moved to. And I really like that motor. It has a nice sort of power, a nice sort of smooth torquiness to it. And the nice thing is they've also upgraded their ESC. It's always been Hobbywing, and I'd say it always will be Hobbywing, but they have upgraded to the 9028 ESC, which is a really nice addition. You don't really get any additional features that WOWGO didn't already have, but it is just a good ESC. It runs cooler, and it does have the ability for some additional customizations later on down the track. The trucks on the AT2 are a 12-inch double kingpin front and rear, and this thing, even with their suggested bushings, which I've upgraded to, this thing is loosey-goosey. Like, it is a lot of fun. This is definitely not for me personally, this is not a high-speed board because it is so carvy and so loose and so much fun. The turning circle, like, I haven't found a bend I haven't been able to make yet. It turns on an absolute dime. Of course, silly me, just went to ride on the grass and completely forgot that it rained all day yesterday. So now the board is covered in dirt and grass. So we'll just wear some of those grass clip-ins off before we continue the review. How are we going with our 10-minute timer? All right, so it's time for track number 2. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the very beginning of the video, I'll explain it. But here's track number 2. Are you ready? Here we go. That's it. All right. Don't forget, 90s rock is the genre that we're choosing from. And remember, comment either now or at the very end, but all the correct answers will go in the draw to win something. Let's quickly look at the acceleration on the AT2. Let's see how those 5330 1300 watt motors accelerate with the 9028 ESC. All right, here we go. Now we're in turbo mode. We're on probably 80% battery, maybe a little bit more, and we'll do full acceleration. So 3, 2, 1, go. So that's full acceleration. It's a little bit weak, to be honest. It builds. Now I'm going to slow down. Now, what worries me about that is competition. And what I mean by that is, if this was the only bamboo all-terrain electric skateboard out there, this would be a fantastic electric skateboard, but it's not. And this is where I think WOWGO needs to be careful, because there are other bamboo boards out there that have bigger motors, slightly more powerful ESCs, slightly different decks, better braking, you know, better battery cells. And that's what worries me, because as far as this being a good electric skateboard, it is, it's fantastic. It's built really well. You can hop on it and you can ride and have a lot of fun. But can it compete with the other bamboo boards that are now available, that have come available in the last 3 months? I don't know. One thing this board unarguably, there's that word again, does well, and that is carve. Whew. Like, it is just super loosey-goosey and fun. Like, if you want to go and just do a slow cruise, especially in the city or tight corners, this thing's only a little bit over 13 kilos, and it is just, yeah, very fun to do some carves on. Here it is, track number 3 for the competition. So once you've heard this one, you can comment down below all 3 tracks. If you don't know them, take a guess. Here's track 3 right now. All right, what do you think they are? Put them down in the comments. All correct comments will be put into the draw and they will be sent something as a gift. No matter where you are in the world, I'll either post you something or I'll get you a voucher or something. All right, gang, let's move on to the SWOT analysis for the AT2 Plus. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So the first big strength for this board is the fact that they've moved to 12S. Now it's going to be a double-edged sword because the battery, I'm also going to talk about in the weaknesses. But it is definitely a strength that they've gone from a 10S to a 12S configuration. The next big strength is the deck shape. It is very, very comfortable, really nice flex, and the drop down just really locks your feet in beautifully. It is really an upgrade on the AT2. It just feels more deliberate, if that makes sense. The next plus is the increase in speed. The old AT2 with me on it really did max out with the ATs on at about 38. This one I've maxed out at 45. I probably could have got a little bit faster, but again, with those loosey-goosey double kingpin trucks, it just, yeah, gives you a bit of a fright when you hit a pothole or you get a little bit of a wobble. So now let's move on to weaknesses. And as I said, the battery really is a double-edged sword. The first big weakness for me is the battery cell type, being Panasonic. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Panasonic cells, but like I said, in this day and age with all of its other competitors, not to have a moly cell or a Samsung 40T in there has to be noted as a weakness, because 604 watt hours for a 12S4P or 14 amp hours, it seems like a missed opportunity. Also, obviously being only 18650s, I'm not sure why they would spend so much time in between releases and then not go with the new industry standard. You know, 21700s aren't brand new. They've been around for probably a year, if not longer now, in normal electric skateboards. And just to stick with 18650s seems like a really missed opportunity. So it has to be put down as a weakness. The next weakness is unfortunately the acceleration off the line. I feel like it's a little bit weak. Again, if you don't need off the line acceleration, it's a beautiful board to ride. It's very responsive once you're moving, but off the line, it really is a little bit lackluster. And I think the direct result of that lackluster off the line speed really does transition or translate to the braking ability. I found the brakes to be quite soft. Again, for a 9028 ESC, we know they can make 9028s brake really well. We've seen it on the Bamboo AT Pro from OWNBOARD. We've seen it, they all brake incredibly well. Very, very responsive. So they can do it, but they haven't. So for me, that is a noticeable, or notable, sorry, weakness on the AT2, unfortunately. All right, let's move on to opportunities. And obviously the battery is a big opportunity to put a better cell in there, a 21700 cell, a 40T, a moly cell. The next big one for me is the AT wheels. And again, I can change this. I can do this myself because the rim itself is doable. But I think the 7-inch AT rim is also really hurting the board's acceleration performance. They did it with the AT2 as well, with a 7-inch. And I don't know why, because it just pulls so much torque out of that motor and it feels, and makes it feel a bit sluggish. If they were to make this available with a 6-inch tire, I guarantee it, well, science guarantees it, that it would have more torque, more acceleration. And as always, the last thing we talk about is threats. Are there any threats on the AT2 Plus? No, there's been no threats at all. No ghost accelerations, no cutouts, no issues whatsoever. But again, you would expect it being a Hobbywing ESC, Hobbywing motors, really strong, flexible deck, fairly grippy tires, no issues at all. The only thing I would say is just be careful if you're not used to double kingpins, because these are what I would classify as extreme double kingpins. They are very carvy. This is a carved board before anything else. So just when you get on it, don't just jump on it and go in turbo and go straight to max speed, because you will have an accident. Just take it easy, get used to it, and then have a lot of fun. Alright gang, that is the end of the video. How did we go? Did we keep it under 10 minutes? It's got to be close, right? Don't forget to enter in the competition, the music quiz. Go back and listen if you haven't already. Here are the 3 snippets again. Put your guesses down in the comment section right now. All correct entries will go in the draw to win something. Who knows what it's going to be. But until next time, guys, don't forget, skate safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you on the next video. Yo!
Scotty. Who's Scotty?